I'd like to introduce y'all to my coming Flugelhorn quartet. Let's start off with the smallest of them. This is a knockoff of the original C valved bugle as made by Leopold Ullmann of Vienna. First made and patented in 1830. I believe the first had Vienna valves, Wiener valves. Now, I find it odd that the modern instrument called the Flugelhorn, which actually isn't, it's an infantry sax horn. The modern instrument, sort of shaped like this, but with paranet valves, is actually a sax horn, infantry sax horn. This is a true Flugelhorn. What makes it so is a Flugelhorn is a valved bugle. And this design, the bugle, first had no valves. It was natural. It was just a little signal horn used by the military and for hunting. Kill it. And then in 1830, it got valves. Before that, there was the keyed bugle, which was the same instrument again, with clapper keys like a saxophone, actually, except they work in reverse fashion. Anyway, this is the highest. Now I've got another one of these complete with its lead pipe in the mail as we speak, and it's in better condition than this. It's playable and apparently a good player, which is what I'm looking for. It's identical to this, so I'm expecting good things. So this is the C. This is the E flat. This one needs quite a bit of work. It's going to be, when the C arrives, this one and the other one that needs a lead pipe are going to be sent off for restoration. And this one, one of the keys, one of the paddles has been knocked off. That'll have to be replaced. And it's got dents and holes and everything else, but this thing will look absolutely gorgeous when it's restored. So this supplies the alto/tenor voice in the quartet, followed by this thing. Was a real pain to find. This I've taken off the tuning slide. This needs a lot of fixing, a lot of soldering, braces, tubing, you name it. But this is a genuine baritone valved bugle. Now, what makes it so is the lead pipe. If the lead pipe had been conical, it would be gradually tapered from mouthpiece receiver all the way into the valve block. Now, hold this up for you to see, but it's not. The taper is the same all the way through until the beginning of the bell tubing. There, look at that. And if you put these things all side by side, you can see that they're all one and the same instrument, just different scale. Now, a little history lesson for you. The first valved instruments, some were trumpets, some were the horn. I believe that was in 1818. Paranet mentioned in the margin of a patent sketch that he had made a Paranet valve trumpet in 1823, if memory serves. So they beat the valve bugles to the punch. But valve bugles were very popular, like the little C horns and the E flat horns. There are tons of them out there waiting to be collected and restored. And they were very popular once upon a time, starting in 1830. There are some reports of them being used in orchestras, in bands, in church bands, in Victorian era parlors, and now also in my collection, I've got four. I'll show them on another video, but I have four matching trumpets. Rotaries, early versions. One of them has a very small mouthpiece. About modern mouthpiece is about that big, and this one is about that big. It was before the modern trumpet mouthpiece was standardized. But I've got two early B flat trumpets, and they are trumpets. They're rotary horns, cylindrical tubing, unlike the modern trumpet, which is actually a type of cornet because it has a conical lead pipe and a long conical bell section. Actually, when it first appeared around 1910. They were made both by Kahn and Lyon and Healy, and I suspect that the Lyon and Healy were Kahn stencils because they appeared at the same time. But the original trumpet appeared both as a trumpet and as a long model cornet. And Kahn was not one to let the truth get in the way of a good story. He put two different types of mouthpiece receivers on his trumpet. And if it came with a trumpet mouthpiece, it was sold as a trumpet. If it came with a cornet mouthpiece, it was sold as a long model cornet. And he also pulled this the same year with his soprano trombone, selling it as either a slide cornet or a slide trumpet, depending on whether it came with a trumpet or a cornet mouthpiece receiver. Louis Armstrong, Freddie Kephart, and Joe King Oliver all played the instrument. There are many pictures of Louis Armstrong. It wasn't just a promo. As I've heard many times that they were when he was playing with Joe King Oliver, Louis Armstrong was holding soprano trombone, and I've heard that was just a promo shot. Man, no, it wasn't. It may have been a promo shot selling soprano trombones, but Louis Armstrong had been playing the instrument for years. Like if you look at old photos of Louis playing in Fate Marable's band in the 1910s, you will always see a soprano trombone under his chair. What's sad is that the Fate Marable band, to the best of my knowledge, was never recorded. So we'll never know. I don't know if any set lists exist of what they played, but there are no recordings as far as I know. And there are no recordings of Louis Satchmo playing soprano trombone, which is too bad. Because we're missing out a big piece of history. Freddie Kephart, too. I don't think there are any recordings, or Joe Oliver either, playing a soprano trombone. So history doesn't catch everything. But anyway, my trumpets, I have two B flats, a low E flat, which is missing its F crook, and actually a tenor. It's a Lidl, Lidl. In B flat, but that horn is actually a tenor trumpet, not really a bass trumpet. A real bass trumpet is in C, and it's like taking an E flat soprano trumpet and expecting it to play like a B flat. It favors a higher range, even though it's in low B flat. It's a real dog down in the low end, but it's really good in the high range. So it plays like a contra alto trumpet, like the E flat contra alto trumpet plays in the B flat trumpets range, and the F contralto trumpet plays in the C trumpets range. And this thing is similar in that from concert F up, it seems to be its favorable range. It's not an old one. It's from the 1950s, made by Lidl. Um, and it's not the greatest player, but it's what I got, and I haven't been able to find a 19th century bass trumpet to go with the E flat alto slash tenor. It's actually a contralto. Uh, your low trumpets can either be a contralto or a contralto, and the contralto is the small bore horn that plays in the same range as the B flat or C trumpet, and the contralto, like the Bach 187F, which was a very good horn, now discontinued, plays right down into the basement to low low C concert F. This horn is built to play in its low end. But the idea was to have the two quartets set up so that the same players could switch and play flugelhorns or switch and play trumpets and use pretty much the same mouthpiece, play in the same range. So the players would have the least possible difficulty playing the two sets. So anyway, that's where things stand right now. I'm waiting for the little C flugelhorn to come, and then all 8 instruments are going to be shipped off for restoration. And I'm hoping to get them off to the university after that. And with any luck, at the university, some hot players are going to play some stuff for you on period trumpets and period flugelhorns. So stand by. We got maybe good things happening in the future.